Live from the Times Union Center, it's Levack Goz on 104.5 The Team.
We are live from the open house and right here in the Times Union Center for our new arena football team. And it's a very cool moment as I introduce you to the sports editor for the Times Union, Lief Skodnick. Lief, welcome to the Capitol. You only been here 2 months?
Yeah, I just moved up here back in September. I took the job. It's been an exciting couple of months. I was covering the Yankees during the playoffs, which was interrupted by the birth of my first child on the day of Game 4 of the ALDS.
Congratulations.
And, so I was downstate for a couple weeks out of that, but back here now full-time again. And, it's been a lot of fun. It's been great to be here.
What kind of challenges is covering an arena football team or a pro team right here in your own backyard?
I'm lucky at the Times Union to have 4 very experienced journalists. In fact, one of them, the legendary Tim Wilkin, is out on the floor. Kicking around. I think he's been at the Times Union longer than I've been alive, but I'm not trying to embarrass you, Timmy, really. But these guys are consummate professionals, and they know how to handle themselves around a team, whether it's college or high school or professionals. So in that regard, it's not really that much of a challenge at all. One of the things that we do have to deal with is the reality of the media business constraining us a little bit. We can't travel as much as we used to. Some of those road trips that we used to do without any kind of hesitation nowadays, we kind of put the brakes on that and have to figure out new ways to do old things.
What are you looking forward to the most as a soon-to-be fan and also a media member to watch arena football in 2018?
Well, going back to my childhood, arena football was one of those kooky sports that was always on ESPN. I grew up in between New York and Philadelphia, so there was, I believe, a team in Philadelphia before the Soul, but the New Jersey Red Dogs were always around. There was a team in Madison Square Garden. Then the New York Dragons were around, and somehow I actually never made it to an Arena Football League game, despite having watched a bunch of them on ESPN. In fact, I said I hadn't been to an Arena Football game before, but I was incorrect. I did go to the Arena Bowl in 2008 or 2009. It was the year before the league took a year off. It was in New Orleans. I happened to be in town. The fact that it was in New Orleans may or may not have something to do with the reason I don't remember it so well. Marcus Polston, who's here, knows why.
Yeah. He's a part owner of this new team. And have you, in all your time covering sports, have you seen a group of people like this who are willing to come out and throw their support behind a team they don't know the name of and they don't know the first player of?
Well, I think that speaks to the effort being put in by the ownership group to really do a good job marketing the team and the sport here in Albany. And when you look back at some of the teams that have been around here, we had a 23-year run of American Hockey League hockey end in this city, partially because, the previous ownership group that ran the last AHL team to call this building home really didn't do much of an effort marketing-wise, and it certainly so far appears like there's no problem with the marketing department and the marketing efforts here. So, this is a really great reflection on what they've done and a really great reflection on the Capital District community's enthusiasm for sports.
I know it's a difficult question to answer now, but from your guys' side of it, the coverage side of it, what can fans look forward to? I know you talked about travel maybe being a restriction, but besides that, are we going to see interviews with players, coaches, feature pieces for the near future to come?
Absolutely. As things get rolling more, there are no players signed. The CBA hasn't been worked out yet between the league and the players union. But we're certainly going to have features on the players and game coverage as the season goes on. As we get closer to the season, we'll have more previews and things of that nature.
Lief Skodnick with us right now, the Times Union executive sports editor, and nice enough to make some time for us. So when you decided to come here, were you thrilled? Was it a selling point to know that you would have your own team now? Of course we have great college sports, but as far as professional sports go, this arena football team going to fill a void.
Yeah, it was about a week or two. It was a little more than that. I guess it was about a month before the team was announced, although I did know it was in the works through sources when I was coming up here. But yeah, it's certainly an interesting addition to the mosaic of sports that we have in the Capital District, and I think it's going to be a great addition.
Can't wait to cover it ourselves. We know you can't wait to cover it, and among everything else, we just want to welcome you to the Capital Region. I mean, I didn't realize it'd only been 2 months. I'd seen the I thought you wrote something about Tommy Canley, I believe, getting a ring to how perfect that would be.
Yeah, Tommy Canley, who of course is an alum of Shaker High School, not too far from here. He was acquired in the deal to get David Robertson to the Yankees, along with Todd Frazier in the middle of the season, and he's really developed into a great setup man for the Yankees. He was certainly going down that path with Chicago, but with the Yankees, he really at first was kind of a depth guy in the bullpen, and he really worked himself into a position where he was a guy that they could use to set up Robertson, they could use to set up Aroldis Chapman. He's got great velocity, and he mixes it up well between fastball, changeup, and slider. So, he's been a big addition to the Yankees and a kind of a local connection. It's neat to see.
Lief Skodnick, we appreciate you. Welcome to the Capital Region, along with our new Arena League football team, and we wish you much success covering sports here.
Thanks a lot. Great to be here.